Hey, talk about last minute.
Be
Can you
like
hear
that.
me
So
okay?
yep, I can hear you.
Hey, hey.
I talk about last minute. Just got my internet fixed. We are good to go. Everybody
Hi.
ready?
Is it your internet or is it mine? You were kind of crunchy there. That do it for you too, Annie, or no?
Yeah, I got that also, but now she seems okay.
Hi, testing, testing, one, two, three, testing, testing.
Yeah, better.
Phew. Okay. If this goes bad, the first thing I'll try to do is Annie, make you the host.
Okay.
Then I'll try to switch Wi-Fi networks. We'll just do our best.
Okay.
Give a message to everybody in the waiting room saying 1 minute. We'll let them in, please.
Okay. I got it, Jen.
You're good.
Everybody have the cards or the everything queued up.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's do this. Whew. All right, you can go ahead and let everybody in.
Just a reminder before I let people in the note about Shirley with Adapt coaching
Thank you.
and to record.
Okay, awesome.
Oh, you are recording. Sorry.
Jen, actually, if you can you oh, never mind, that's okay. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad everybody showed up today because I forgot to send out the last reminder email because I'm in Florida but I'm so excited. I didn't want to cancel today because we don't have that many weeks left in the year and everybody has some selling to do. So we got to get this done. I'm so happy everybody's here. Please go ahead and put in the chat where you're dialing in from today. I am in Florida and I'm actually going to be asking you to put in the chat a lot of things for me here today as we go. So put those in the chat as we dive in. And then actually, Anne, if you don't mind, as we get started, we wait for everybody to come in. Could you do our little survey that we love to do? I want to see where everybody's coming from and
Sure.
let everybody know about having their camera on as well. And I will be right back.
Just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna write a little prompt for you so it's easy.
Okay, and then I can talk about having our cameras on for you then. Um,
Perfect.
so at the end, we'll be giving away four $25 Amazon gift cards. If you have your cameras on during the entire program, and I will be keeping an eye on that, making sure everyone's in. I've got a nifty little spinner that I put everyone's names on that I'll be picking names from at random. So as long as you have your cameras on, I'll put your names into that. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. If you're driving, like we understand, like don't get in an accident, but if you're awake and at your desk, turn it on so we can see you.
Yes, we love to see everyone's faces. So the question that I put in the chat there is where are you in your coaching journey? And it's just like, are you in coach training? Have you completed coach training? Are you affiliated with the ICF? Are you not affiliated with the ICF? Just all the details about your coach training right now.
In progress.
Okay, awesome. And then I want to make sure that everybody knows, sorry about that. That throughout our training, I'm not going to stop too much because I can get distracted by the chat, as you can see. But Annie and Jen are going to be taking notes. So if you drop your question in the chat as we go in real time, Anne can pull those up at the end of the call and I can answer all of those questions, please. But it's helpful to us if you ask them in real time. That can help us improve. Okay. All right. Yes, please keep those coming in. We're going to go back and look. We want to know where you came from. And John, you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me? Give me a nod if you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So sorry it's you. Thankfully, it's not me. I have the ocean behind me, and when we're done, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of my beautiful view. I'm like over the ocean. It's pretty neat. But the glare was too much, so I wanted to cover that up today. Okay, everybody. So thank you so much for being here with your cameras on. Let's dive in. One thing I like to do is to get centered and grounded before every single sales call, every live event I do. I'm actually here in Florida giving a keynote, a closing keynote for nurse leaders here tomorrow in front of hundreds. I'm very nervous. But every time I want to center myself and get grounded, I do a reading out of this book. And this is Melanie Beattie's book, Journey to the Heart. And this just helps me feel really grounded and settled before I jump on a sales call or really dive into anything. So just as we settle in here today, maybe grab a cup of water, some tea, a pen, and a notepad. And let me just quickly do today's reading for us. November 13th. You're almost home. I had only a few hundred miles to go, but the stretch ahead seemed endless. I was tired and near the end of this adventure. I remembered the meditative words of a friend, words that had helped me several years ago, words that help me again now. The life force is a force within you. You have the power to fire it, stoke it, expand its energy throughout your body. Don't clench up, tighten up. That limits the life force within you. Stop cramping your muscles and telling yourself you can't. If you say it long and loud enough, you'll begin to believe it. Relax. Relax your arms, your legs, your neck, your body. You've come so far. Look back at all the miles you've traveled. What lies ahead is a small portion, such a small portion of that. Breathe deeply. When you become afraid or tired, your breathing becomes shallow. That inhibits the fire. It keeps the life force from reaching your muscles, your vital organs. Feel yourself being filled with healing, life-giving energy. With each breath you take, feel the flame burn more brightly within you. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. Feel your power spread through your body. Feel the power of the universe come in through your breath. Feel that power connect with the flame and burning coal of energy that is within you. Don't stop now. You're almost home. I can teach you all of the things, and you can learn how to host calls and say the right thing and sell appropriately. But if you don't feel amazing before every single call and every sales interaction, you will not be successful. So please keep that in mind today. This matters more than anything I will teach you. And I hope you will hold on to that thought as we begin to dive in today. I'm about to share my screen. Give me a nod if you can hear me. Yes, awesome. So you're in the right place. If you are a coach in training, if you've recently graduated your coaching, or if you're not even ICF affiliated, as long as you're a service-based provider, this training is going to help you shift how you get paid and how you serve your clients. This beautiful woman here, her name is Joy. And I'm going to share a little story. Actually, being in Florida reminds me of this. When I was so shocked at the fact that even a single sales call can change a life forever. And this story takes place right after I spoke at a coach training. And I walked out into the main room, and this beautiful woman came running towards me, and I was a little nervous. As you know, people look far different in real life than they do on that tiny Zoom screen. And as Joy approached me, she realized that I didn't recognize her, and she said, "Michelle, it's me, Joy." See, I had hosted a call with Joy the year prior, a sales call. And what that means is that Joy needed some help, and I thought that the program I was selling at the time could help Joy. So we got on a call to talk about it. Well, at the end of our call, she started to get teary-eyed and she said, Michelle, that sales call changed my life forever. I walked away from that conversation and I was like shaking. I thought to myself, this is sales? And this is sales. And today I get to share with you, give you a glimpse into what it's like to host these kind of sales calls and serve your clients in a way that they will run across a conference to find you. They will post online even years later in gratitude of the transformation that you provided. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to dive in? Here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to teach you how to turn your coaching into a high ticket offer that sells with ease. That's the number one thing. The second thing we're going to do today is to understand the power of something called an activation fee to help clients say yes on the very first call. And last but not least, we're going to set you up for a yes before you even say hello on a sales call. See, I'm like to think that I'm a great coach and I help you realize your brilliance. But sometimes I'm going to put on my consultant hat and I'm going to whisper in your ear. And I'm going to do a little of that today to help you see or understand ways in which you can increase your chances of success even before you say hello. Okay? So let me tell you a little bit about me. You know, I'm in Florida, you know, I'm here, but I am been doing this selling thing for the past 15 years. I've sold real estate in Southern California. I've worked in the Peace Corps, actually, where I met my husband in Mali in West Africa. I once raised $1 million for the Cleveland Clinic as a major gift officer. But what's most really relevant to you is that I worked in a coach training program for 5 years, not only selling their program, but teaching coaches in that program how to sell with incredible success. And I, of course, am so much more than my job. I know you are too. I'm the mom to 3 boys. I live in Denver, Colorado. We love to ski. I joke that I'm very fancy. We drive a minivan where both doors open, and I love to travel, as you can tell. I just got back from ICF in DC, a conference, and I also spoke at ICF Argentina around the core competencies and the sales call, which is a little bit about what we'll talk about today. Okay. All right, my friends, now it's time to get serious. I want to know, and this is really relevant, this isn't just fun. I want to know who you are, but not what makes you extraordinary, not the $1 million gift you raised for charity. Nancy, Donna, Constance, Shirley, I want to know what makes you ordinary. Do you drink your coffee black? Are you a soccer mom? Are you a divorcee? Have you battled cancer, which does not make you ordinary? What's something that's very ordinary about you? Put it in the chat and do it fast because we don't want to wait. We want to get to all the things. So put it in the chat for me. I love to travel. Okay, Shirley, this is going to be really, really relevant. Okay. Wait, a tutor for refugees. Celeste, oh my gosh, see, I can right away. We're going to be friends, and that's a great connection. So this is perfect. I just got married in September, and I have a 2-year-old golden retriever. Okay, these details matter. Do you know the golden retriever community? If they're anything like the Vizsla community, like I'm a part of, like there's a lot of them. These are your people. A mom of 2 teens. Crystal, she drinks tea. Doug, he's a soccer dad and he loves to play video games with my son. Doug, I love that. I actually, I'm not into Fortnite, but I don't even want my kids to play it, but I let my oldest. Anyway, I sat down to play it with him the other day to bond. Story for a longer day. Okay, Brian volunteers at his church. Now, I think you're starting to see the correlation here. Brian's watering hole, where his clients are likely at that church. Okay. I have 21 grandchildren. Constance, who might be your first or next client? Grandparents, right? People who are looking to step into this next phase in their life. So keep those in the chat because we'll come back to this. Okay, but this is perfect. And it's really what's ordinary about you. So often we try to highlight the extraordinary when we go to sell our coaching for the first time. And oh, I'm better, I'm amazing, but it's actually what makes you flawed. I'm a divorcee, I've X, Y, and Z that's going to attract those people to you. Okay. Now, and put this in the chat as fast as you can. What's the biggest impact coaching has had on your life? And now, what I mean by this is not the biggest impact you've had on others, but what is the biggest impact it's had on your life? Now, take a second to think about this. For me, it really shifted how I spoke to my spouse and transformed our relationship, which impacted our kids. That was really the ripple effect. And then it changed how I spoke to myself. So that transformation, it was so dramatic. I'll tell you more about this, but I was actually in marriage counseling and all the things. And when I found coaching, I was like, oh my gosh, everybody has to have this. I felt like I had the secret sauce and I wanted to run to the hills screaming, selling it to everyone. Okay, so Sherry says it improved her listening skills. Yes, active listening skills, servitude. Ooh, Lee wrote a bestseller, The Five Pitfalls of a Relationship. You got to send that to me. It got me asking deeper questions. I love that. And I want to, Jeannie, I want to have you go even deeper. Like, was there a shift in a relationship, a shift in your relationship to yourself? Try to be really specific here. Oh my gosh, Sharon. She has a child who's now 21 and wants to live. Okay, right? When we talk about this being transformational, it is absolutely life-changing. Celeste communicated better with her adult son. So often, we think we forget where we've come from and we forget the impact coaching has had on us. But that's really, really important to bring us back to that space as we think to go sell our coaching, either for the first time or at a bigger level. We need to really tap into that and help our clients understand that. Okay. Awesome. How important is it to you, with that goal in mind, with that life-changing experience in mind, for you to sell your coaching? Put this in the chat really fast for me, will you? For me, it was a 20, right? 100. That was the secret sauce, right? I was like, how does everybody not know about this? And now, that was 6 years ago. Now more people do, but it was non-negotiable for me. I was like, it felt like a public service, right? I was like, people need this. People need this in their life. Yes, awesome. Celeste, Sarah, Brian, Deborah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Put it in the chat. I really want to know. And some people are wanting to sell part-time and it's kind of a nice to have. But I want to know on a scale of 1 to 10, everybody participate. I don't see you in there. And don't be shy. Put the number that feels right to you. So I mentioned my spouse a little bit, but I'd like to share a personal story with you of a time when the single session pay as you go model really let me down and left me feeling really, I mean, forlorn isn't even, I was devastated, to be honest. I was completely devastated. And I found myself sobbing in a parking lot in my minivan uncontrollably after just coming out of a session, the very first session with my therapist. And the therapist had been nice enough. She finished our session and she said, Michelle, I'd love to work with you. Please go ahead and schedule another call when you're ready. I said, great. And I left and I can't bring myself back there, but even just walking out of the room, I was choking back tears. What do you think this therapist did that was so wrong? Can anybody guess or pinpoint? Can you share what she did? Because in most circles, this is not an egregious act, right? She listened to me. She took my money. She literally has an Ivy League degree on her wall. She's supposedly very qualified. What did she do? Put it in the chat that didn't serve me and left me in tears. Come on, I know, and there's no getting it wrong. Okay, Nancy, you said she had no plan. Really good. That's awesome. Um, Doug, same thing. She made you feel guilty. She didn't make me feel guilty. But yeah, she didn't help me understand no, next steps, right? No connection or add of value. She told you what to do. Okay. She didn't give you a plan. Okay, so most of you are when ready. So Rolla said she told you to schedule when ready. That was the problem. Yes, part of it. Didn't create a safe space. Okay. And Adriana, I like that. Um, no hope that you're going to feel better and she could help you get there. No open-ended questions. Yes. Okay, okay. So she didn't value as the individual or value your relationship. Doug, so good. Where are you? I'm gonna find you on my screen, Doug. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So I am actually going to share with you what I wish could I do the Wayne's World thing and go back in time that she would have said to me, and then we'll break it down. Okay. So here's what I picture her saying to me, something more like this. Michelle, I am so sorry that you're going through this. This is a really, really hard time. I understand. Now, I cannot guarantee you that our work together will save your marriage. But what I can guarantee is that if you show up for yourself, you will feel really satisfied knowing that you did everything for yourself, your spouse, your kids, right? Here's how I typically work with clients and how I suggest we work together. We can meet every other week for a 3-month period of time. In between our sessions, I'm going to give you homework. And what I mean by homework is going to be self-prescribed. It's going to be things like hang out with your spouse one-on-one, go on dates with your kiddos, and spend some time alone with yourself. Now, again, Michelle, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I don't know if you're even going to want to save your marriage, right? But when you work this way, we have this plan of action and this support, and I can't wait to support you on this journey if this feels aligned to you. I charge $500 activation, and your first of 2 payments comes out 30 days later. How does that sound? Now, this would have been an offer I could not refuse. I would have paid her twice as much. And here's the thing, I would have actually gotten help. In real life, I paid her 125. I never saw her again. I proceeded to hire a marriage counselor, spent $5,000 over the next year, and nearly got divorced. It was absolute hell. And she spent however much money trying to get me back into her office through her marketing. Funny story, she actually has a coaching sign on her door, I noticed when I went by the other day. Yes. So what she's done here is a few things. She's created a container of support, like many of you said, an action plan. We've even scheduled out. She could go ahead and after she takes my money, we would schedule out those 6 sessions in a 3-month period of time. We would have set money aside so it wouldn't constantly be this transaction. Instead, we could have focused on the transformation. This tiny shift makes a humongous impact, and I would actually get the support that she's capable of giving me. But here's the other thing for that provider, she would have tripled her income, actually more than that, right? And she wouldn't have worried about getting me back on the schedule. And as I know, all of you, the way you want to work and the way you want to live is there's no price we can put on having our schedule already set and that ease in our business. Okay. So let's break this down and put that in the chat. If you can put difference, right? The word difference in the chat. If you can feel the difference between those two as we break that down, right? It's this tiny, subtle shift, and it's so simple. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So what makes this client coaching partnership, this 3-month container of support, this minor shift so powerful, and what goes into it, right? Do we need the modules, the really specific niche, all the things? No. We need a start date. Can you see that? We need a specific start date. We need an end date. So the therapy model and the pay per session is a great way. It goes on into infinity, right? But when we hug it and we say, let's focus on a specific goal for 3 months, right? Maybe it's feeling better or communicating better. It doesn't have to be this huge life-changing thing, right? That end date hugs it. That doesn't mean we need to end after 3 months. We can actually keep going, but we'll reset and restart our commitment to each other. And now there's the exchange of money, the activation fee. Yes. So that activation fee, which is another word for the first payment, right? We're just helping the client understand and step in with ease. We took that money. And when you take the money in all cultures, it is a powerful, powerful activator. And guess what happens when you do that? Any ideas? You show up, right? You show up, you do the work, and you're ready to go. And when you can take it right there, you move the money out of the conversation. You help them say yes to the thing that they already said yes to. And now you can focus on the transformation. This isn't transactional. People don't pay you thousands of dollars for a transaction. They pay you thousands for transformation. Okay. So any questions on that activation fee? So if you're in training and you're like, hey, crazy lady, I'm not going to charge $1,500. That's too much, which by the way, this is half of the average of what a coach charges in the US. I know it's different in different countries. But let's say for those of you in coach training, you might say, okay, well, when I graduate, when I get all the things, I can feel more comfortable with $1,500. But right now, I feel more comfortable doing half off. $600 feels really good to me while I'm in my beta, while I'm in coach training. So then what would your activation fee be? 200. Get started with a $200 activation and your first of 2 payments comes out 30 days later. See what I'm doing there? And let's say you're like, hey, I can't even pay anybody. What you can do right now, if you're just a baby coach in coach training, and you can practice differently. So when your brain has evidence of the power of that container of support, when you go to sell it, your brain is already going to have evidence of it, of what the clients, things that happened. When I sold my first few containers of support, one mom pulled her kids out of private school and moved to the country. Yes, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. Another person, when I just took her activation fee, no coaching call, those very first clients, she hired a nanny. How much is a nanny? I don't know, 30 grand a year. And then she sat down with her spouse, blocked off all the times she was going to meet with me, right? And asked for his support. So there is tremendous power in taking the money. Don't take that away from the client because you're nervous. Okay. All right, everybody, ready to keep going? Yes. Awesome. All right, there you go. Sorry, is that better? I don't want to block people. Okay, even though I want to see your beautiful faces. So a lot of you might be thinking now, well, isn't this just a package, 6 sessions in a 3-month container of support? No. And if your clients during a sales call are pulling out a calculator and doing the calculations, we're doing something wrong. We're not articulating the value of what it is that we offer. Okay. So it's really important that we shift that. One of my first coaches, she said, packages are worse than single sessions. They're single sessions at a discount, right? And then when we say packages, that's what comes to mind. Just like when we say deposit versus activation fee, deposit feels refundable in our terms, right? And so for packages, we want to move away and work into those containers of support, because also the transformation happens in between sessions. Makes sense, right? Like a coaching session is great, but if you don't change anything in your real life, you're not on the right path. Okay. So just to bring this point home and to make sure that you never go back after this training. All right, let me introduce you to Allison. Allison, like many of you, is selling single sessions for $75. She's in business. She's super happy. uh-oh, it starts to go downhill because Allison wants to make $50,000 a year and start to think about leaving her full-time job. Well, if Allison does that, she would need to sell 55 sessions a month. This is near impossible. But let's say, best case scenario, she's amazing. Everybody comes back. The most that she would make in a 6-week container of support, meeting every other week, a 3-month with meeting every other week, is $450, right? So when she learns simply how to articulate the offer and how she supports the client in an appropriate way, she can triple her price and actually serve the client, creating the transformation that they desire. So simple and so magnificent. Why $1,500? Why do you think I charge or I suggest this and use this as an example? Put it in the chat. What's your guess? Why do you guess that I'm charging or suggesting you charge $1,500 for a 3-month container of support? Put it in the chat. Do it fast. Come on, come on. This was actually the number I just started charging a little bit at random. I was working as a high ticket closer for a coach training program at the time. So I was used to selling and I knew a few things, right? Some kind of it implies easy to break into 3 payments. Surely, good job, Annie. I like it. It implies high value. Okay. Easily manageable, but still high ticket. Let's look. So one, we're on the right track. It's an easy activation fee, right? So if we were charging $2,000 even, it would be a little bit hard to break it down, and so it's a nice clean number. Typically, in my experience hosting now over 1,000 sales calls, nobody really needs to move money or ask a spouse about $500. And I want you to not work on overcoming those objections when you go to sell your coaching for the first time. I want it to be easy peasy, right? No barriers to success. I want us to work on having that feeling in our bodies. So it's an easy payment plan. We take that $500 activation fee. Your first of 2 payments comes out 30 days later. 200 would be the same way. 200 activation, your first of 2 payments comes out 30 days later. And then somebody mentioned it here. Who was it? It shows that it's a minor stretch for the coach and the client. So for some of us here, this isn't a minor stretch and you're going to leave here today and charge 3,000 or 5,000, and that's perfect. We want your number to be a little bit of a stretch. And we want it to be a bit of a stretch for your clients too, because when you charge appropriately, not too much, not too little, they show up ready to go and connect. So put in the chat your number. What number comes to mind for you that you want to sell your coaching at? Don't think about this too hard. Just what number comes to your mind right away? 3,000. Okay, awesome. Awesome. I love that. 3,600. Okay, Nancy, awesome. So Nancy, actually we could talk about pre-selling, but Nancy you can get started today with a $600 activation fee, and your first of 3 payments comes out 30 days later. See what I did there? And then she could actually even start in January. So we want it to be this minor stretch for the client. Keep that going. 4,500. Awesome, Doug. So you could do the same thing. You could do a 500, since it's the end of the year too, activation fee, and your first payment comes out 30 days later. You could break those down into payments. So we kind of modify what it is to make it easy peasy like this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want to tell you about, keep those coming, and I'm going to actually go back. We have some people that are really stepping into high ticket here today, and I want to high five you. That is brilliant. We want to charge what we're worth, and remembering that the average coach, in the US charges $3,000, right? So yeah, charge accordingly. I want to share with you a little bit about Lisa. So Lisa is a parenting coach, and she is not ICF affiliated at all. She stepped into this job in retirement. And I always have to tell everybody, she sends socks. We always suggest you send a welcome gift to folks, even something little. We do that in the program. And she sends socks to her clients that say, "You are a great mom, you are a great dad," on the toe. And I just thought that was such a brilliant little thoughtful gift, fun gift to send her clients. Lisa stepped into this and she was a really fast learner and she sold her $1,500 program right away. Actually, it was like ridiculously short within about 5 or 7 days. And what I found really interesting about Lisa is that she was thrilled about the money and that was amazing. But what she was excited about is how she was able, through the 5 steps to choice sales call framework we teach, how she was able to go very deep with her clients and connect with them on a way like never before. Megan told me this too with a new client, and that sets you up for success during your time together. And that's the goal of the sales call. Rachel is also, we just happen to have 2 here today that aren't ICF affiliated. Rachel is a copywriting coach. And Rachel thought, I'm not like, one of those touchy-feely coaches. The way you sell, this can't work for me. Well, we teach a heart visioning exercise during the sales conversation. And I said, Rachel, can you just try it? Just try it out, see how it goes. And she said, okay, fine. On the very next call, her client sat up in her chair, closed her eyes, and said, "Oh my gosh, we're really doing this, huh?" She enrolled on the spot, and Rachel has been kicking butt ever since. She also pulled her kids out of private school. She now homeschools them. She lives in the mountains and makes multiple 6 figures integrating human design into her copywriting business. She is so cool. Okay, so this is really fun. I said, sometimes I'm going to help you, like I'm going to teach you where your ICF core competencies apply to the sales conversation and really just show you how brilliant you are and how simple this can be. But other times I'm just going to go, hey, let me tell you the thing, because I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads and managing other people's ads. I've had hundreds of sales, over 1,000 now at this point, and sold millions of dollars in coaching. And I've learned the hard way what works and what doesn't work. So grab a pen and paper. I'm about to share with you 3 ways in which you can increase your chances of a yes before you even say hello on a sales call. Easy peasy. Limit your availability. The sure sign, the sign of somebody who hasn't had proper sales training is a calendar that goes off into the next year and years and years and years into the future. All times are available. Can you imagine if you went to hire a lawyer and they were available all times of the day? It would be crazy. What I started to notice is that when people booked calls more than about 5, 7 days out, they wouldn't show up and they were less likely to buy if they did. And that's not because of anything you did, it's that humans are funny. And after about 3 days, we start to lose interest and go on to our next thing. And it's not that they didn't want to work with you, it's they literally just the human experience and they get busy. So pro tip, there's a make me look busy feature on all of your calendars, and you can do the make me look busy and just book out for 3, 5, 7 days max for your sales calls. Remember, this isn't for your coaching calls. This one is awesome. Host calls when you feel your best. No surprise, when I would host a sales call at 5 at night, I had kids running around. I was giving them lollipops. That was literally my plan. I had a thing of lollipops and I would give to the kids to try to get them to be quiet. I didn't want to take the sales call, and no surprise, people didn't enroll. Sales is a transfer of energy, right? As Zig Ziglar says, and you need to feel, just like we started off this call, absolutely amazing in order to be fully present for the other person. It works out well too, because I also couldn't coach at 5, right? And so when you take sales calls at the same time you can coach, it's a win-win for everybody. This one, I'll tell you the story one day of this, but hosting 45-minute sales calls is a pro tip as well. And the reason for this primarily is that We can, all of us, be a little too nice on sales calls and let people go on and on and on and on and on and on into their stories. That doesn't serve the client and it doesn't serve you, because remember, the goal of a sales call isn't to get a yes. Spoiler alert. The goal is to help the client make a decision, yes or no, as to their next best steps. And so we're not coaching them around their problem, we're coaching them around the decision to get support. And, and so when I had to
Okay.
limit my sales calls to 45 minutes, more people enrolled. It was insane. I saw the difference within a week. And I remember I was taking dozens of calls because I was working for a coach that was running ads and bringing calls in every single day. So I could see these results really quickly. Put in the chat if you have any questions around that, and I'll come back at the end and answer those questions. But that's just an example of the dozens of things that I teach my clients around these just subtle tricks to show up as a professional and help the other person to show up 100% present for themselves. Can you sell while you are still in coach training? You bet your butt you can. And in fact, this is the best time to do it. When you wait, it can be too late. Of course, like supposedly it's never too late. You can always come back. But the truth of the matter is, and I've really seen this to be true, that your energy and desire diminishes and you get further and further away from that core group that cheered you on. And Laura was somebody who stepped into this and learned this method while she was still in coach training. And she said, Michelle, 3 months seems like really long to do a beta program with somebody. So I'm going to do 6 weeks. So she did 6 weeks with the client. And guess what happened after the 6 weeks? The client asked for more. And she stepped into a 3-month, $2,450 program. Laurel was over the moon, but this was just the beginning. Laurel did so well that she actually shut down her massage practice and coaches full time. Absolutely incredible. She had a new problem, and that was trying to fit all of her clients into her schedule. I mentioned Laurel too, because if you are a personal trainer, a yoga teacher, a hairdresser, anybody who has folks coming in, a therapist on a regular basis, you do not need to market a day in your life the traditional way when you learn this method. Jordan, he stepped into this really quick too. Jordan does amazing. He actually just did this full case study for me. He's so awesome. He's a speech coach, but one thing I love to brag about Jordan is he actually fired a client, and that was something he was really excited for because he used to work with anyone. And when you learn this method, you start realizing that that sucks your energy from your other clients and that blocks people from coming in. And so he came to a coaching call the other day, so excited about firing a client. And we all kind of smiled and wow, how empowering to say, hey, I'm actually checking you out on the sales call as much as you're checking me out. And we're seeing together if this is a good fit and deciding on your next best steps. All right, I need to know, because you're all ready now. You were actually ready yesterday, but there are some fear gremlins that are hanging out on your shoulder. And I want to know what they are and what's stopping you from stepping into this. And this is a safe space here, right? We're not going to share this outside of this community. What are the crazy weird thing that's stopping you from stepping into this or stepping up into your next level, right? Is it, I need to get a certification? The funniest one we heard the other day was, I need a dedicated phone line. I thought that was too funny. I need my LLC. I need insurance. I need my ACC, my PCC. Put them quickly in the chat. I want to know, what is that fear gremlin that's on your shoulder stopping you from doing the very thing that you desire? Put it in the chat. I want to know. Sherry says she needs an LCC, LLC, right? I need a website, right? I need update my LinkedIn. Do I need QuickBooks, right? All of these things. I need opportunities. Where am I going to find the clients? I don't have a certification yet, right? I can't sell without a certification, right? Absolutely not. You can 100% sell with a certification, and I guarantee you none of your clients will ever ask you for that. Awesome. Okay. So keep going. I need a website. Come on. I know there's more than that. Imposter syndrome. I don't think I'll be successful, right? A fear of failure, a real fear of failure. Yeah. Thinking I need more marketing knowledge. Sarah, I need to learn all the things, right? I have to have my business set up. I need to market perfect before I step in. Yeah, I love that. Share more in the chat. Pam, Nancy, Donna, Shirley, share those. Yes, 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 in the chat. I want to know. Mm. Doug says working for myself feels scary. Doug, I hear that. There is something different where it feels really personal and it feels like a rejection of you. And I get that. I get that 100%. And the truth is you're selling coaching, right? You could be uh, a pole that stands there in the middle of the street and somebody comes by and talks to the pole daily and add value, right? Just by showing up, you are going to do an incredible service for your client. Absolutely. Okay. So now here's the real question. How much longer are you going to let those fear gremlins rule your life? How much longer? Is it 1 day? Is it 2 days? Is it 10 days? How long are you going to wait until you step into this? No more. We did this training the other day and somebody said, no more Satan. Bye-bye, Satan, those fear gremlins. 30 days. Okay, so 30 days and I'm ready to step in. 2 weeks, right? Write 0 in the chat if you're committed to kicking those fear gremlins to the curb and not letting those excuses keep you safe. Because that's what we all know as coaches. That's what those fear gremlins are doing. They're doing their job. And your body's job is to keep you in homeostasis, to keep you right where you are, even if it's not the most ideal place, because no matter what, we know what it is. And that's what keeps us stuck. Put 0 in the chat if you are ready to push that aside. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to take a break here in a second. Thank you so much for having your screens on, everyone. I would love to introduce to you a little bit more about the work that we do here at Unscripted Sales and how we helped clients. Our job, our goal is to help you sign your next client at $1,500 or more. So if some of you are stepping in at a much higher rate, just insert your number there. We want you to consistently be able to enroll clients because let's face it, most of us are only getting 2, 3 max, maybe 1 sales call a month. So it's vital that we can attract them, book the sales call, host it in an appropriate manner, take the money for $1,500 or more. We want you to host sales calls so joy-filled that you can't wait to host them. When you love something, you want everybody to get on that call. And when you love these sales calls and it's such a rich experience, whether they say yes or no, you want to host more of them. So energetically, you put more things out there. You show up at the church group and you tell people what you're doing because it feels amazing to you. And we teach you how to actually book the sales calls, right? First, we want you to learn the sales conversation and feel amazing and be ready to take the money. It won't take you long at all, especially if you're an ICF coach, because they're so close. But now, how do you share your work, find clients, and book them on your calendar? And that is what we teach you how to do in the program. We do that through live coaching calls. And we have 3 a month, 2 where you're learning the sales conversation and you're learning how to onboard, serve clients, increase your pricing. Megan, for example, she's now working on a group coaching program. She just came in about a month ago, moved from single sessions to container of support, moved from a few $100s to $1,500. And she said, Michelle, I actually asked her to do a testimonial for me, but I haven't actually even looked at what she responded to yet. She said, I'm not even a quarter of the way through. She's like, I'm going to be a great testimonial, which I thought was really cute. We have 24/7 on-demand modules because we know that you need to sell now. It's the end of the year. It's Black Friday. We need to pre-sell for January. Well, we want you to be able to dive into those modules on your own time. So we've really taken all the fluff out of it and guided you right to what you need, the heat-seeking missile, so you can find what you need. And then I mentioned Megan, real-time Voxer support. So not everybody's doing a group coaching program. And Megan's like, tell me how you pre-sold unscripted sales 6 years ago. What did that look like? I told her I sold pre-sold unscripted sales and created as I went. I sold it to 5 people at $2,000 almost 6 years ago now. I kept saying 5, but it's almost been 6. And so we're able to go back and forth on Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app, and I can give her support. Super neat. She's even like, okay, I posted it on LinkedIn. Go take a look. And we can go banter back and forth, which is really nice. It's hard to book a one-on-one call, and we'd have to charge a ton more. We also have a members only podcast, and this is because I attract folks that are similar to me, and I learn in my minivan driving my kids. Sometimes I'm in that car for hours a day, and I don't want to miss call replays. I don't want to miss our calls on 5 ways to find clients that we have each month. I wanted folks to be able to listen to those and to re-listen to them and be inspired even on the go. So you can access that members only podcast. So I actually charge a ton more, 10 times more for my private coaching. I don't work with individuals for private coaching anymore, but I do work with teams. So if you're somebody who has a team, I love to work with sales teams and teach you this method. And it's really nice, especially if you're doing a group coaching program, because then your clients come in, they experience the sales conversation, the unscripted sales method, and then you teach it to them later, right? So it's such a win-win, but I work with sales teams for 10 times this price. I'm going to take a break here in just a second. So Jen, be sure you have everybody's name so that we can draw names. But I'm going to just share with you really briefly that all the modules are professionally edited, which is really nice. And so they're fun to watch and they're very short. The live coaching calls, typically, we've brought now over 500 people through the program. But typically on any given day, you'll have about 15 to 20 people on these calls. And what's nice about that size is that it's enough that you can learn from each other, but not too much where you can't raise your hand, ask questions, and get personalized support. So that's really nice. And the private podcast will help you get on. Okay. So, Sarah, and we'll be sure to tell you more about Sarah. She's a yoga teacher who integrated coaching and just did amazing, especially during the pandemic. And we just have a fun little thing around here that we celebrate when you enroll 2 clients in one day. Can you imagine that feeling? It is a really cool feeling where you're like, oh my gosh, I just enrolled 2 clients at $1,500 or more in my high ticket program in one day ever. So our goal is for you to enroll every client you speak with. Remember, we are not selling to the masses, so we actually have to get this right better than other coaches you see that are just churning clients through. We need to, like Jordan, understand when to say no and turn away an unaligned client and why that's so important. We need to confidently price your services for maximum income and impact right just above that threshold. And we want you to host sales calls that your clients will run across a conference room. We'll post online. I had a coach earlier this year, a client posts that she sold a $50,000 program. She started out where you are now. And she was so excited to sell her first $50,000 program. She was losing her mind and she tagged me in it. Like I was a part of that. So it felt really special. Okay, everyone, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here in a moment, but here's what we've done so far, and I'll tell you more details, but I want to know what you found most valuable so far today. Put it in the chat. You learned how to turn your coaching into a high ticket offer. It was painfully easy, right? We didn't need crazy modules or anything like that. You started to understand the power of an activation fee and why it's in loving service to support your clients this way. And then you learn how to set yourself up for a yes before you even say hello on a sales call, and how important setting yourself up as a professional is. So I cannot stress enough how important that is. So yeah, go ahead and put in the chat and tell me, what do you want to make sure that you remember from this training today? Make sure that you remember. Single sessions, says Annie. The power of the activation fee, Donna. Activation fee, what else? Rephrasing package and deposit, right? Our words matter, and helping the client understand the power in between the sessions. The container of support, absolutely. Awesome. We can talk about the next action to take on the phone. We can talk about that at the end. Start date, end date is important. Sarah, isn't that simple? Where are you, Sarah? Yeah, it's like, okay. Like, did you think you'd come and get something like as like, simple as that? An end date. Imagine if your coach training program just went on forever, and they were like, finish whenever you're ready. Just go ahead and book that call. You'd be like, that's insane. Oh, I'm so glad so many of you are saying activation fee. Sharon and Brandy, I love that. Yes, there's something really powerful in making this an amount of money that they can step into right away. Even if Doug or any of you others are doing corporate, oftentimes people have a discretionary fund and they can step in with that, and then you can go get approval for the full amount. So that's really nice. What else? What else do you want to make sure that you remember today as we step into this? And then we'll keep going. Jen, could you actually grab the first two that are here with their cameras on and call those names as other people put those in the chat? Put in the chat the takeaways. It helps other people.
Okay, so the first two winners, we have Jim White and Sarah Swanson.
Awesome. Woohoo! Congratulations. And if you email me, I will send you out that Amazon gift certificate right away, and Jen will put my email in it. Oh, Livia, where are you? Gotta find you, Livia. Hey, I love what she said. Did everybody catch this? The purpose of a sales call is to coach a person to make a decision on their next steps, not on the problem that they have. That's the fastest way to lose a client, is to start solving their problem. Livia, I'm so glad you picked up on that. How can I start without being certified? Brandy, is that your takeaway? How you can start without being certified? Okay, good. Yes, it wasn't a question, it was a statement. I can start without being certified. Brandy, where are you? Yes, you gotta wave to me. I got all these people on my screen. Oh, there you are. Yes, Brandy. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so can you imagine? This is one call with me, right? 45 minutes. Can you imagine having this level of support going forward? I hope you can, and I'd love to share with you more details about how we work and we serve clients at this level. Sorry, that's not the right one. That's an old one. But first, I want to tap into our dream business. Really thinking about and taking a step back now, because we've thought about what we're going to sell and what we want to sell. But how do we want to live? How do we want to show up every day? How many clients do we want to serve? What do we want to make? Are you like Anne and you're somebody who wants to work and live all over the world? Do you want to work and sell part-time while you're working? Sorry, I'm messing up my slides on you today. Okay. I want to share with you actually this one. This is Sarah, and you'll hear from her and others in the program as they're in their own voice as they stepped into this. So have a listen.
She puts the feminine back in sales, and it just allows everybody to make a aligned decision for you and takes all the icky sales pushy stuff out. She teaches you how to face objections honestly and authentically, and in a way that it empowers both of you. If you are struggling with the buying conversation or just struggling selling, she teaches you how to sell with soul.
Once I started the unscripted sales methodology, it just changed everything for me. Now I actually look forward to sales calls. I'm closing way more sales than I used to. And I love it. I feel so comfortable in it now.
I love her honesty and her directness. She's no nonsense. She knows exactly what I need to be doing. It's about the mindset and how you approach the call, but it's also about you energetically and shifting your perceptions about money and how you approach these sales calls. They're not even sales calls. It almost surprises me a little bit when they say, yes, let's go. And I'm like, oh my God, I just have another person I can now help.
You'll love learning about her framework. I can't wait to continue to use it. I'm hoping to fill up my calendar with potential clients so that I can connect with them and really help them walk through choosing to see if I'm the right coach to make a difference in their life, because that's really what it's all about. I want clients who want to work with me and who connect with me in a special way. And that's what Joyful Selling does for you, is it helps you to learn to connect with your clients so that they're working with you in a way that really is open and honest, and you can get at what's happening in their life and really partner with them on their journey of transformations.
Lisa's done such an amazing job in her business. She's a really fun one to follow. She's the parenting coach we've talked about, and she now charges $3,000 for her coaching, and she has a partner that she works with, and she's really expanded. So it's pretty special. So we've got to make some changes, right? If we want to truly, if that zero is truly important to you and you're ready to kick those fear gremlins to the curb. We need to go from practice coaching to paid. We need to overcome our imposter syndrome, those fear gremlins, anything that's getting out of our way, all the things. And truly, I love some of the comments in the chat about single sessions to containers of support. It's the only way to make a profitable, sustainable business and to truly serve and support your clients. So we help coaches this way through our 5 steps to choice sales call framework, our bi-weekly live coaching calls, plus the bonus call that we have each month. So we have 3 total. Our on-demand training that we offer, as well as Voxer support, that app I was telling you about, and your 16 CCE credits. So I haven't talked about those yet, but you do get CCE credits in the course. And so we're really excited to share those with you. You get 16 CCE credits. Okay. I also want to share with you one more here. This is Stacy's journey. Stacy was just on Friday's call. We had a call on Friday around pre-selling your coaching for the new year. And actually, everybody's working on hosting workshops with the new year in mind. They're doing some smart workshops, and we were talking about how to advertise those on LinkedIn and gave some amazing support. But Stacy gave us an update on her journey. And when she came in to the program, she was selling single sessions. And 2 weeks in, she had signed her first client into a container of support for $1,500. And today, oh gosh, I don't know how long she's been in the program, maybe 3 months. She sells 6-month containers of support for $3,000. And on average, she's selling about 3 to 4 clients a month. Stacy's amazing. She just did this summit where she got 600 more people on her list. She actually invited me to speak at the summit, and that was super, super special for me. But let me share with you more about a timeline and see if this feels doable to you. This is what we want you to do first. We suggest that you master the sales framework. Some of you said, well, I have to find clients. Well, if you don't know how to host a sales call, it doesn't really matter if you're an amazing marketer at all if you can't book the call and enroll someone. And then around week 3 or 4, we want you to really make sure you feel good about your offer, your pricing. Should it actually be higher? Sometimes it should be higher than what you're charging. And week 5 and 6, we encourage you to start having aligned conversations and give you support around this. So inviting people to book a call if you haven't already, and we've given you the tools to set you up for success. And around week 6 or 7, this is actually a pretty prolonged timeline. We want you to sign your first high ticket client into your container of support for $1,500 or more. Our program is a 3-month container of support. So just to give you that, that's our timeline. Type doable in the chat if this feels doable to you, this timeline. 3 months container of support. You're learning that sales conversation. You're going, okay, where are my watering holes? Who are my people? Is it church? Is it the dogs? Is it the divorcee? Right? Is it suicide prevention? Who are these folks that are my people? Okay, how do I reach out to them? What do I do? What kind of workshops and networking events do I host? Yes, absolutely. It is doable. We designed this for busy coaches. I have been running this program, first ran it in a coach training program for about 4 years. And then we moved out and we sell it solo outside of the coach training program now so we can reach more programs. And actually, quick story, the reason I did that is because I joined a high profile coaching program that was nearly $20,000. And I was shocked that not one person learned how to sell their coaching before graduation in that high ticket program. Meanwhile, I'm teaching coaches in this other coach training program, and 40% of our students are selling before they graduate. At crazy amounts. So I just didn't know that other people weren't doing this. I figured that every single coach training program was working like we worked, but I was wrong. And so I was like fiercely determined that everybody should get this. So we have 90-minute live calls every other week with a bonus call. So 3 total a month. 2 are our core trainings, and then 1 is on 5 ways to find clients. These are incredibly rich calls. I just sent out some bonus marketing materials this morning for people that are in our November challenge, this challenge is really fun. I'm giving you way too many details, but the goal is to go get 10 no's, right? Guess what happens when you go and you think with that mentality? Something switches and you start getting yeses. So it's pretty cool, but we have contests and prizes to help people start stepping out of their comfort zone. All right. So let me tell you, I am really having technical problems today, aren't I? There's always something going on. We keep it real around here. So let me give you an idea of the cost and how we work more specifically. We teach you the framework, 24-hour access to the modules, live coaching calls monthly, real-time Voxer support, and 16 CCE credits. Now, you'll notice there isn't something on the right. We haven't given a value to each of these items, which in my opinion is thousands, but the truth is that you determine the value, right? So for Crystal, who came into the program and learned this method 3 months ago, she made $17,000, made her best month ever. So multiply that over a year. What is this framework worth to her? What were those on-demand modules worth to her? Megan came in, right? And she's just came in the program and she signed a few clients at $1,500 or more within the first couple months, moving away from that single session model. So for her, I don't know what that's going to be worth each year. So instead of making up some arbitrary price and saying it's worth $5 gazillion and here's the price, I just want to give you a really fair price that feels appropriate to me, that helps you step up that level and helps you get the support you need. Type value in the chat if that feels fair. Type value in the chat. Yeah. If I put the numbers there, actually, they would be like, I'd be like at $150,000, right? The work that we've put into this, the thought, what we've taken out, how we've made it so darn simple. We've even, we help you listen, we help you read, all the different ways in which you can absorb this. Absolutely. We want to do something special, as I promised, for everybody who showed up here today. And there's a really specific reason why we're doing this. But today, and you can go ahead and pull up that QR code on your phone, and you can get a $400 discount if you were here live today. We won't honor that if you weren't here live. We will check because we really value what we're offering, and we want to bring people into the community that show up like you do here. So that's actually why we charge the amount we do, is that you're stepping into that energy of a high ticket coach, right? That $1,500 price range. This is what I actually do with my private clients. So typically, my private clients sell one program for $15,000 to $20,000, and I just love it. Just takes the pressure off of me, off of everybody. If after one client you can break even, and so that's what I really love for you. With one client, you break even, and then like Megan, she's like, "I'm thrilled. This is amazing. I'm only a quarter of the way through," and it was the price anchoring that I teach that really helped Megan. The potential for higher returns. Now we're working on a group coaching program. Now we step into the next thing. So absolutely. Okay. If you're excited about this opportunity, if you're excited about selling your coaching in the new year, 2025, put yes in the chat. If you are excited about feeling amazing on every single sales call, if you are excited about selling containers of support versus single sessions, if you are excited about that activation fee, if you're excited about making prospecting not some huge dragon, but something very simple and methodical that you start today and when you come into the program and you do for the rest of your coaching career. We teach you best practices. Type yes in the chat if this resonates. Yes, yes, yes. So with that coupon code 400 off, 400 OFF, and I'll show you where to put that. You can make payments. So you can come in today, which is really nice, for just $4.99. And we do limit this just because our capacity to serve people is only so much. So that's why we do give these $400 off coupons. We want people who show up live. It's selfish. Anne's on these calls with me and we work together, and we love to be with you. We love to see your face. We love people that want support and want to show up. Some people just buy the program and they listen to the videos and we never see them, and we're like, come on, come on, come in. And that's okay too. If you need those ICF credits, you don't need to be on every call. But that's why we give that coupon code today and make this payment so easy. So go ahead and enroll if this feels good to you. And for the first 7 people that enroll today, we are having a workshop called Fine Tune Your Offer. And this is a 2-hour workshop that people go crazy for. And we break down the offer into 5 little chunks. We practice them together as a group, fine tune your pricing and all the things. And I'll send you an invite for that right away when you enroll. Okay. If you're one of those first 7. Awesome, everyone. Well, I'm going to stop sharing. And Jen, if you could please call those last 2 names for us, and I will answer any questions that you have. And we're excited for all of you who are already coming in. We're so excited to support you. Get your butt in here if you want to sell. And as I'm forgetting everything today, if you pull me out of my element, I swear I'm like such a mess. I forgot some really important things. So Anne's shaking her head. She's like, yes, you did. Don't take you out of your home office. You become crazy woman. We are having the start date in January of 2025. So you can start in January because we know how hard that is. And then the other thing is we'd like to gift you 6 months in the program instead of 3. So it's a 3-month program, but I'm excited to offer you 6 months in the program. So if you miss a call, you can repeat it, right? So that's really, really nice. And that's what we're excited for you. Awesome. Can you guys, yeah, you can see me. Okay. So go ahead to unscriptedsales/yes. Anne, Jen, you pull those names in just a second, but Anne, answer those questions or ask me any questions that came up, and I will be sure to answer them. And thank you for putting up with me today out of my element. At least I have the ocean behind me when the tech wasn't working like 5 minutes before. The internet was super slow, but we made it through, and I hope that you found this incredibly helpful. Put it in the chat. So the monthly payments are $4.99. You can get started today with an activation of $4.99. Your first payment comes out 30 days later. We're going to teach you how to pre-sell your coaching for the new year. We're going to help you find those clients on those calls, and it's going to be so much fun. I love seeing all those come through already. We're so excited to support you. Annie, give me those questions.
Yeah, so you just touched upon it briefly, but I want to just like go over it one more time. Can you walk everyone through like exactly what happens once they enroll given the January start date?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for clarifying. So right away when you enroll, we are going to send you out your welcome gift, right? Does this sounding familiar to anyone? We're going to send you out your welcome gift. We're going to make sure that you added to the LinkedIn group where you can find an accountability buddy. That's actually a part of your 16 CCE credits. Then we are going to meet with you on an onboarding call. So even though you're starting in January, I would love to meet you right away and get you on that onboarding call. That way we can make sure you're on the podcast. We've connected on Voxer. You can access the platform. I don't want you having to email me back and forth if you have any problems. So we can meet one-on-one, and I'd love to get to know you so that we can watch out for your watering holes, where your people are, and start to put all the pieces together. Then you are welcome to come to calls between now and the end of the year if you'd like. Otherwise, the second week in January, your time will formally start. And that will be really nice. You'll have 6 months in the program where you'll first learn the sales conversation. It's called the 5 Steps to Choice, and you'll learn the sales call framework, and you'll start putting in place the prospecting fundamentals. So we teach you things like you need 3 places to bring clients in from. We teach you different things like automate, eliminate, delegate, right? How are you spending your day? We teach you other things, yeah, like what half of your day should be prospecting, the other half serving your clients, and then the third portion of your day should be bettering yourself, so just like these best practices in your day-to-day business, we are going to work through with you so that you don't just book a client and sell those 5 clients during the program, that you have the tools to build your business and keep it sustainable going on into the future.
Perfect. And here I was just looking at the chat. Nancy just had a question. If you could speak more about the 16 CCE credits, and along with that, just to piggyback on that, do clients have to be at the live calls in order to get those CCE credits as well?
Okay, so we giving you that coupon today because we want your butt on those live calls. Okay, so get your butt there first off. But if you can't or you miss a call, you can get those calls on the recording, and they can still count for the CCE credits. You get 16 CCE credits by coming through the program. We have a checklist for you. We make it as easy as possible because I've taken courses before and then not been able to get the credits, and you're emailing, and it's so frustrating. So we just got CCE credits, so we celebrate the heck out of you once you finish those up. You have an accountability buddy as a part of your CCE credits, and some reading to do and all the things, and we just make it super easy. So yeah.
And Shirley just had a question. She just said, is there a guarantee? Can you speak to the money back guarantee?
Yeah, absolutely. So we value your success because we track our success rates. We just started formally tracking. We're starting to work with coach training programs more and more. So we want it to be really clear. And I'm actually asking of you to give me feedback on when you sell. A lot of times people will sell and I'll see them post online about it. And I'm like, could you please tell me? And they're like, I just sold a $5,000 program. You're like, okay, that's information I need to know. So yes, we do offer you a money back guarantee, and we are as committed to your success, not as you are. You're committed more to your own success, but we want to be equal partners with you. So yes, absolutely.
And then another question they had was, you've teased it kind of throughout the call, but I really think we should talk about, can you talk more about the 5 Ways to Find Clients monthly bonus calls? Because those have been so amazing.
Yes, they're so good. Well, maybe So I told you a little bit, every single month we're focusing on something different and it depends on the season. So now it's the new year. So what is a great way to get clients in the new year? One thing is to pre-sell your coaching for January. And another, it's a really great time to do simple workshops, no expertise required around goals for the new year. What do you want to achieve? What does this year look like? There's a heart vision exercise we can do. So that's what our focus was. And they just went crazy for that call, huh, Anne? It was so much fun. And we have a challenge each month for selfish reasons, because I want people to go in the LinkedIn group. But also it supports you. And then I even send out, like in November, people who signed up for the November challenge, they're getting extra support with templates, Canva docs, where we help them reach out to their network. I show them, how to pull an email and make it a LinkedIn post and all the things. But we're really working on the fundamentals of finding clients. How do you reach out to your champions and your networks in a really thoughtful and methodical way? How do you find out where your watering holes, where your people are hanging out? And this isn't your niche, but this is like who's that demographic? So if you're in the ministry and church, like those are going to be your people. What does that look like? How do you speak to them? What kind of workshops do you have there? What's the call to action to bring them to the call? So on and so forth. So these are incredibly rich calls. You can dive into the past ones right away when you come in. They're on the members only podcast as well. And they're just phenomenal. People are loving those. And so those have been really fun.
Yeah, they are amazing. And like the link, that's another thing we haven't really talked about yet either, is like we have the LinkedIn group as well, and the community that's like really been forming between the LinkedIn community and the accountability buddies, but also like these live calls. People are from all over the world, and it's so cool to see all these different coaches like learning from each other and helping each other, and how it's like these little Easter eggs of each person are kind of like getting laid upon each coach. It's just been so special. So come to the live calls if you sign up, just to meet everyone, not even for the information, just to like be a part of this community of people who are like ready to do the thing.
Yes, 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 yes. When it's fun, like people will say their program price, and everybody on the call will be like, no, didn't feel it. And then they'll say it, then they'll be like, okay, it's X, $333 a month for 3 months. And you can just, we're animals. There's something we hear in the voice. And when it clicks, people are like, yes, that's my price. Or,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I was making this so complicated. That offer workshop, like get your butt in here. Like we already have so many people coming and it's so fun. But get your butt in here if you want to come to that 2-hour workshop. And I can show you where to put in the coupon code on the website too. It's scroll all the way to the bottom and put 400 off to get that 400 off of each payment, or it'll break it through the payments to $499. Yes, Brandy, we'll get you those Canvas slides. I'll email those to you later today. Okay, so you can watch for those. Absolutely. And Jen, did we pull those last 2 names yet? We did not, right?
I have them.
Okay, yeah. Call those names and you guys can email me for those as well.
All right. So we have Doug. You're the only Doug. I'm not even going to try your last name. And then Pam Lippett.
Yay, Pam. Yay, Doug. Where'd you go, Doug, on my screen? Yes, there you are. Awesome. Yeah, so email me info@michellerockwood.com and I'll get you those out right away. Okay. All right. Give me some more questions.
Yeah, next one we have is some folks have never used the Voxer app, which is one of my favorite things, a part of the program as well, as having access to you through that. So can you explain how we use it?
Yes, absolutely. So Voxer is a walkie-talkie app and you can message me in real time. This is a really nice alternative to booking a live call. And it's just super nice. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing it justice, but it's awesome. I use this with sales teams as well. I suggest you use it with your clients. You know how heavy email feels? You're like, oh gosh, not another email. But you can be walking and be like, oh my gosh, Michelle, I have an idea for a workshop. What do you think about this? Or, oh my gosh, Michelle, do I have to be specialize in children if I want to focus on parents? Or, hey, what's the pricing of my program? Or the best actually is when you mess up. So if you get on a call and you get a maybe, that's when you Voxer me. right? If you get on a call, you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I got a maybe. What's my next step? Or if they said yes, but you weren't able to take the money because you hadn't listened to a certain module or something, that's when you call me and I help you go, okay, here's the next step. Here's what you do. And I find this so fun. I can't even tell you if somebody doesn't Voxer me one day, I'm like, hello, anybody need some help out there? It's so fun for me. I even do it while I'm skiing with my kids. Sometimes my family teases me, but it's just so joyful for me. And I've been doing this for so long now that there's almost no question that I don't have an answer to pretty quickly.
Okay, and then we just have one last question, and it is, can you just speak more about the sales call framework, how we teach it, and why it's so beneficial for everyone to have that core framework?
Yes, 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 yes. So especially for ICF coaches, when you can learn a framework that is so similar to the coaching call, for example, and nod your head for me if you're an ICF coach. What do you do at the beginning of every coaching call? You establish and maintain agreements, right? You agree with the client what you're going to work on, do a time check, all the things. Well, that is actually what you do at the beginning of a sales call as well. And so that's one pretty concrete example to help you realize, oh my gosh, like we've narrowed the learning curve specifically for ICF coaches down really quickly because it's just these tiny tweaks. And you can use your active listening skills, your maintaining presence, your evoking awareness. And we highlight where in the sales call you want to lean into that really specifically. And so the sales call framework is so incredible because you'll really understand if they're a good fit for you, if you're a good fit for them, what that container of support is going to look like. We even teach you how to do a heart vision exercise at a certain point in the sales conversation so that you can help them visualize what it is they want at a whole new level. I used to not do this and I would get answers like, oh, I just want to stay employed, or I don't know, whatever, I just don't want to feel so bad. They just like give me like little answers. And now they're like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to start a business, or I can't believe I'm saying this. I want to get divorced. Or, they'll just be like shocked at the things that are coming out of their mouth. And so when you can help somebody have that aha on a sales call, right, you demonstrate what it's like to be in a coaching container of support without giving it away, which is really, really powerful. Anything else, my dear?
That's all the questions I have.
All right.
Actually, there are more questions. I can see them.
Let me look.
I wrote one and Livia asked also.
Oh, when do you typically hold the live calls? Awesome. Livia, we host calls typically on Tuesday. We're also doing Friday mornings. And that's usually about 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So no surprise, right around the time that we hosted this call. Yeah. Thanks, Nancy. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I see Shirley's question. I'm sorry, Shirley.
So Shirley, we do help with website, landing pages, and social media. In that, we have resources for you. We actually have a partner that we work with that comes in and does training, and they have 5 core modules in the program. We really ask that you sell first and then create second. When you go to create a website having not sold before, then it's hard to answer those questions like what will you experience, having testimonials and all those things. So if you've already sold, then absolutely we'll help you dive into those website templates. And social media, yes, we do. And this we give you Canva slides, we help you with the wording, help you story sell, things like that. Yeah, really foundational stuff, Shirley. So you want to think about like, we're not teaching massive modules on social media, but really foundational stuff that you'll do for the rest of your career. Fun, everybody. Yeah, Livia, the monthly payments, you got that right. With the coupon code, it brings it down to $4.99 for 3 monthly payments. Your time formally starts in January.
But how long, what are the dates for the program? Just because it's 3 months and I'm already calendared out. So I'm
Yeah, so
wondering.
Livia, you have 6 months in the program starting in January. 6. So, however, it's a 3-month container of support. It's going to repeat itself. Does that make sense? Yep. So essentially, I'm letting you go through the program twice in case you need to miss and just to give you that, yeah, perfect. Okay. I'm going to keep scrolling up. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any other questions. This has been a fantastic group. Shirley, go for it.
I heard you say that you have a partner that does the training. So since they're a partner, is there an additional fee or is that also included in the program?
No, we partner with somebody called Go Expert Sites, and they design Russ Ruffino stuff, but they do all of my stuff. So actually, let me show you. That's a great thing to do, Shirley. Let me show you. So it's not an extra fee, Shirley, but you can just access those modules. Shirley, tell me, are you're ready to create your website, eh?
I'm not 100% certain that I am. I see a lot of other coaches that have it. I don't have that. So I do have clients, but not to the degree I'd like.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Yeah, because sometimes, we spend all this time and money making websites. But yeah, who we partner with is they do a really great job they actually build a site for you for the monthly fee. There's no charge to build the site, the opt-in page, the back end, all the things. So let me show you first off. Yeah, so there's no additional fees at this time in the program at all for what we're offering. But in order to enroll, you want to come here and put in your information. And then put in the coupon code. 400 off. It doesn't matter if it's capitalized. And see, then it's going to bring it down to $4.99 a month right there. And you could just put in your credit card information and complete your order or do Google Pay or Cash App or whatever you want to do. Okay. So let me show you my platform. Let's see. And then anybody else put your questions in the chat, and Anne, can you scroll through and make sure we answer those?
Yes, I think I just scrolled through and got through all of them. I'm so sorry, both Shirley and Livia, for missing yours. They got kind of lost in the mix when I was looking.
So Ellie, I'm so sorry we do not offer a replay at this time. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, and keep those questions coming. You can also unmute yourself if you want. I'm so excited for the new year. Do you like the idea of starting in the new year, everybody? Yeah, Sarah. You can already access those calls too, which is really nice. So Shirley, here is, I've used Kajabi. I've used a lot of different platforms, and Go Expert Sites works for me. They've been really great. There's a couple that owns them. Don't be afraid of this lessons. I'm always like, don't be afraid of that. The core lessons are upfront really quickly. But for those of you who aren't ICF coaches, you can see that each of these modules and everything has an ICF coaching stamp. So we make it really easy for you. So first, we're going to learn how to set up the sales call like a professional. And actually, Shirley, this might actually help you feel a little bit more confident in booking those calls because you'll have a nice place for people to go with a solid intake form, and they'll feel ready to go before your sales call. We teach you literally how to take the money. This is a learned skill, how to take a credit card like a professional and have people feel confident with you taking their money over the phone. This is kind of that replay of similar of today where you can work on your coaching offer. But then we do the overview of the framework of the sales call. If you're an ICF coach, you're going to want to listen to this one because we teach you where to plug in all those core competencies. And we do it in a brief overview, but then we deep dive. Okay, how do I set up the call? How do I embody and envision what's possible? And then instead of pitching, we teach you to present the opportunity to clients, right? No pitching, it's a conversation, not a presentation. And we have even calls here that you can listen in on. Some of my earliest calls, Shayna, remember the gal who I said sold a $50,000 program? This is not her, that call, but a different one you can listen to, which is really nice because think about it. You've learned the framework and now you're listening to somebody do it and you're like, you have it printed in front of you, you're checking it off. It's really, really powerful. And then we have our 5 ways to find clients call replays up there. Our call replays are all loaded up here. And this is really nice. So we have a PDF library where all of our bonus material is. You can even go back to the past challenges and access those materials, preventing objections, buyer's remorse. I mean, this is not our first rodeo. Taking payments, all the things. I'll just keep going through this a little bit. Finding clients, creating your first website. So we have these core modules here, but really connecting with Go Expert Sites is going to be your go-to on that. Email marketing support, and so on and so forth. So that gives you an idea of what to expect when you come into that platform. And also that's going to be on the members only podcast too, which is really nice. Okay. Wonderful. Welcome everybody who's coming in. Doug, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Yes, have a great day. We hope to see you in the program. Doug, I don't see you in here yet. Come on in. Join us. You did your signing up. Okay, good, 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 good. Livia, we sure hope you're joining us too. Shirley, we love to support you. Sarah, you have such great energy. We want to get your butt in here, serve you this year and in the new year to come as well. Yes, I'll put the link in. Put the link in unscriptedsales.com. Scroll to the bottom, 400 off. And we still have a few places left for that workshop. So don't delay. If this feels like a good fit for you, dive in. You can just take it easy in the program until the new year, and then we will support you. Marka, how are you? Lee, how are you? Good. Did you enjoy the training? Yeah? Good, 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 good. Awesome. I hope you're coming in. Good. Awesome, Marka. Be sure to use that coupon code.